I believe you got the talent and passion to become a great digital artist, and it's only a matter of time and practice to achieve it. For that reason, I decided to create the biggest digital painting tutorial channel in YouTube. It's easy, detailed, and personalized. Subscribe. Don't you want to be part of it? Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be making a box of wood. So let's get started with that. We want to start doing an horizon line with two vanishing points, those little dots in there, and using the shift button, the shift key on the keyboard, we're gonna make these straight lines that are going to help us with the perspective of this box. So now what I do is I copy that what I did and change the scale vertically, so I can have like the top part of the box. Now the points have to match in there. The points have to match because that's what the vanishing points are for. They get together on the horizon, so the perspective is correct. Now I'm trying to do this box. I'm having a little bit of difficulties, but the cool thing about doing this digital is that you can make changes really easy. So now I'm changing, because I have everything in layers, I can change the length, the vertical length of the box just by scaling around the lines. Now those vanishing points have to be so far away that they get out of the canvas. And now what I'm going to do is doing these lines that are going to help me understand the three-dimensional shape of this box. And I always have to go to the vanishing point using shift. I click where I want to start, then I click on the vanishing point. Click where I want to start, then I click on the vanishing point again. And that's how I did those lines. The vertical lines are not so too much of a problem, just straight with the shift button too. And now I'm trying to do some diagonal lines to get those kind of like wood, how do I say that, boards. And now that the perspective is correct, I can just scale and it will still look correct, doesn't matter. Now on top of that, I can make my sketch. I was going to cut this part of the video, but I thought it would be cool to you guys to see how I did the box, so please stay tuned. So right there I'm just sketching ideas of what this box is going to look like. I wanted to make it like kind of a video game feeling, maybe like for a concept art of a game or something like that. I saw some pictures of boxes before doing this, and they had this little wood board just at one side, diagonal like that, maybe to reinforce the surface or something like that, so it doesn't break, or somebody put it later there to make it stronger. I thought it would be cool to have that board there, kind of like in one angle. Now this part I wanted to make it like broke, like the box is breaking. So I figure if I did this little kind of like planes that they turn to one side, I could later draw on top the wood breaking. It was a, here I'm doing it again, see? I made that little plane just sticking to one side, and it breaks at some point. And then I put little lines between those to kind of make the effect of the wood breaking. I thought it was cool. But when I'm drawing it, I really don't know how to do it, but when I'm doing it, kind of feels natural to do it that way. So I think that's the study for when we are making these studies. And yeah, I didn't want to make just a box. I wanted to make it with some differences, so you guys can see how to paint normal wood, how to paint breaking wood, stuff like that. I didn't want it to be so flat and boring. And well, you should take your time doing this during this phase of your painting, of your studies, because the sketch is everything. The sketch is going to tell you, it's going to make you take some decisions before painting. There I'm having a little trouble with the perspective, which I'm going to try to fix in a few seconds. It doesn't look too bad, it's just a little bit weird. And now I don't know why I remember of Wolverine or something, and I wanted to make these little lines. Actually, it wasn't Wolverine. I was thinking more of a Jurassic Park or something like that, because I was listening to the soundtracks of John Williams. So I don't know why I remember. Maybe like a velociraptor or something scratching the boxes. So I made those lines in there. And the wood, when it breaks, has this little kind of like looks kind of like hair, but is really little pieces of wood just sticking out. But the way you paint it is like really hard hair or something like that. It's just lines sticking out of the wood. Maybe some screws. Not sure if that's the right word. And little lines to give some texture, wood looking to the drawing, which they will disappear later, but I'll do it anyway. Here I'm trying to like draw a little bit of the shadow or how it's going to be. But later I actually do it the other side, because I don't know why, but everything that I do is lit from the left. So for this one I wanted to do the lighting from the right. But at this point you guys are not going to see that. Right now I'm just thinking of doing the same as everything I do, which is making the light coming from the top left corner, and doing a fill light, a backlight, and a fill light on the right. There is the backlight. And I was thinking of making it different, but I continued. So here is the fill, and right there is the backlight in the back. But how I'm saying, then I change all that. So let's get started with the painting part. Okay guys, now we are on the painting part of this tutorial. I'm going to take the colors directly from the references, and I thought it would be easy to have the references just there in the same file instead of outside. So notice that I'm using a normal brush, and I'm just going to take some colors from there. Right now I'm just testing which color is better to use, so I picked that middle one. Remember that you don't have just one way to do things. Sometimes I start by doing the colors with a palette, or doing colors directly from the references. For me, I think it's easier to paint from like what I'm doing right now. Paint the dark part and then the brighters. Right there, I just used the Dutch tool, which is the letter O on the keyboard, and then I just make it brighter, took that color with the eyedropper, and then keep painting again. So it's really easy stuff. It's nothing fancy at all. And there, for the inside, I just went to a layer that I have before that one, and I just painted that. So the light's going to come from this side. It's just one light. Just I made two because the other one was too high. But just so you guys know where it's coming from. Now I'm using a really soft brush. It doesn't change the size. It just changes the opacity a little bit, and it's really soft. And now I'm erasing where the heart, where the light cuts to the shadow, which is usually really hard. In this case, shouldn't be too soft, and that should give us a really soft shadow, but with hard edges. So I just did one stroke with the big brush using black. And right there, I just want to make some color variations. I started testing some color variations for the wood. Just a new layer on top, and just painting with a darker wood color. And using some opacity on the layer, I can see some color difference, some color variation. So that's what's going on in there. Nothing fancy. Okay, so now I took another color. Remember that the most colors you have, they have to kind of keep the same tones. But when you use a lot of different colors, it gives more richness to the painting. So now I'm using another kind of brown that I took from another reference to make these little lines. And even that they are going to be, you won't be able to see them much later on the painting. They are there, and they make it look different, which is really important. So right there, that's what I'm doing, just little lines with another kind of brown that I took from the reference. Okay, so now I decided I need to pass to the next level of this. So just think of how can I make this painting even better. And the next step is doing some shadows on it. So what I'm going to do is just paint a little bit of occlusion inside of the box. I create a new layer and start with doing a really soft shadow. So it should come like really dark on the center, and then go a little bit kind of like a variation from dark to clear. Right there, just do the shadow where the object gets together with the ground. In this case, because it's just a box, and I thought it would look better if I put it this part more dark, a little bit darker. It was too bright against the background. You will have to be looking for doing that bright dark difference really, that you can really notice it. Right there I just created a new layer and then painted everything in black, and then I changed the opacity in the layer with like a 30%. You can do that by pressing the H on the keyboard, which is the little hand icon, and just change the number. Then you have to go back to the B, which is the brush. If you press the numbers using B, you change the opacity on the brush. If you press the numbers using H, you change the opacity on the layers. Okay, so now all this part have to be lit by the light, and I'm going to take a brighter color. I'm trying to find which brighter color of which wood I'm going to use. I think that's the 101, and now that's what I'm going to use. So right there I'm just painting. I'm trying to concentrate all the lighting kind of like in the center of the box, like in the left part of that face of the box, so you can notice the difference between dark and shadow, between dark and light even more. So I wonder if you guys notice that I'm doing the bright spot of my box is going to be like in the center of the box, where it cuts to the dark side, and not the whole face that is looking to the right. Then I'm just doing a little bit more of brightness, so it looks a little bit more even, but all the brightness should be concentrated on the left part of that face of the box. It gives it more kind of a, you can notice the difference between light and shadow even more. Looks cooler that way. So right now it's starting to take shape. I'm starting to like what I'm doing, which is really important. You have to like what you're working on. Sometimes I start tutorials, I never finish them because I really don't like how they are looking. And now I'm starting to like this one. I put it another tone of wood in there, which is lighter than the one that is in the back, which is really dark, and it looks like like some lighting that is coming from the left, like a field light, and it looked really good. So I just left it there. And you have to be aware of everything that's pointing to the part that has light. If it's pointing to the part that it has light and it doesn't have anything that block it out from the light, it should be lit. That is really important, that everything that is looking to the right, which is where the light is, should be lit by that light. Okay, now I just copy that and think, how can I make this better? Ten more minutes. Now I'm going to use a hard brush. In the other part, I didn't change the brush at all. Now I'm using a hard brush because I needed to make it feel more solid. So I'm using a hard brush. It changed the size with the pressure, but it doesn't change the opacity. So now I'm using 50%. It changed the size with the pressure. It doesn't change the opacity. That's the only setting that this brush has. It's nothing special with the colors and nothing fancy at all. But remember all the time that the brushes are not the ones that make the results. It's you. So you should get out of your head that you need to have the brush set to do this, the brush set to do that. When you're really good, like let's say I know a few artists that uses really custom brushes, like Scott Robertson has some brushes for, even I think he even got brushes for people, but it's from drawings that he already made. So he can cut and create the brushes. He doesn't download it from internet or stuff like that. And Fansu has some brushes with clouds, but it's just the way he works, because he has to paint really really fast to do the kind of stuff he does. But you don't have to have a brush set for everything. If you want to use mine, you just download it from the description of this video. I don't have any trouble at all to share it, but the result is going to be get by you. It's not the brush only. So try to not end up with a lot of custom brushes on your Photoshop. Okay, so I haven't explained everything of this because it's really easy to see. Just doing some lines with the hard brush and some little like holes and trying to make these little circular shapes that the wood have on the reference. It's basically just giving it a little bit of detail, just a lot of little lines. Where the wood breaks, you should have these little lines of little pieces of wood just sticking out. It really gives the look of wood broke wood. And notice that I'm doing these little lines where it breaks, and then big lines. It's just two panels, one top and one down, and then little lines between them, like this. See? So that's going to give you kind of the look of the broken wood. Little lines and then big ones. Kind of like triangles with the shadow on. So right there I had another kind of brown, and I'm using that to lit a little that shadow part. Looks cooler, I think. Okay, so now let's see. I don't exactly remember what it was going to do, but I know it's giving more detail. We're already on the okay. Now we're going to make like some kind of dirt. Actually don't know the word to say that, but it's like making it look a little bit older. So I'm going to try to make this texture on them. It's really random strokes, just little points and moving around. Here I tried to treat it like a texture. I just put it in there and with the transform tool, change it a little bit. Looks kind of good. You change the opacity a little bit, and then I'm painting on it again. So yeah, this kind of effect gives it a little bit more of realism. So we have those dark stains, that's the word. And then I'm going to do some bright ones. But right there is just trying to make these differences. Notice that this board of wood is a little bit darker than the other ones. And here I have like little stains falling down from this one. So these are different kinds of wood put together in just one box. It had some story behind. And now you're going to use gray, little reddish gray, to make this kind of maybe some stains of paint, or it was painting before and then the paint fall down, something like that. And it has these little stains of a brighter color. And this part, because it's looking to the light, it should be even brighter. So those stains should be more lit than the ones on the left. And that difference is what's going to give you the effect of that lighting. It's going to look like, oh look, it's real. Because here you have the same stains, but these are lit stains. I needed some kind of a bright color in that part, so I did that, and then changed the opacity on the layer. Okay, now I'm just doing, I need some even brighter colors. So right now I was using kind of like white, but then I make like some kind of join with the brown, and got this really bright brown color that I really liked. I'm going to use it a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing right now. And remember the ending of these broken woods should have those little lines to imply that it is broken there. I think it really made the effect of broken wood. They should be pointing on some sides, but not all of them are to the same side, because I guess they don't broke the same way. So yeah, there we go. And here a little bit of shadow. Okay, so there I just made that lighting part inside of the box. Now let's do the final stage of this tutorial. And for this part I always take off the the timer because I don't want to be pressured by it. I wanted a backlight, so I created a new layer and put it some little dot in there to say that here is where my light is coming from. And now I just paint some, like, if lighting was coming from that part, from that area, and this is how the result of that should look, kind of. A little bit of that light to the inside of the box, and for everything that is pointing out and which material is not completely solid, like the hair, like the edge of the hair, that's how those little pieces of wood should look, because they are really tiny. So it kind of should look like that with that light coming from there. So I'm trying to do that little backlight sticking out from the behind the wood. There it should be really subtle. Here it should be a little bit more brighter. Now I'm trying to change the colors to see what another color could look, but I decided to stick out with the light yellow color. Now I go back to a layer that is behind that one, and with the really soft brush that I created the shadow, I made that kind of a glow effect behind it. Now I'm changing the brightness and contrast. Something I do. Sometimes I do it at the middle of the image. Now I'm doing it at the end. And I really needed the left color of the box to be more reddish. So I created a new layer and painted this color. It gives it a little bit of more cartoony look, but I like it. Then I'm going to change the color a little bit, and that will be it. This is how it looks 100%, and now I change it to the color that I want, and then change the opacity again. I change it using image adjustments. Just shaking up the layers. Now I'm going to fix some troubles, fix some errors that has my image. Little mistakes here and there. The edges is the part that makes you paint it look less professional. If your edges are perfect, it look way better. Now right there I'm just doing a little points for the screws. Or the nail. I don't know how to call those. Sorry about my English. Okay, so what else can I say? Well, this is the ending part already. I really hope you like this tutorial. Please make a comment. You can tell me which tutorial would you like me to do next. Please share this video. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Please follow my Facebook page if you are interested in knowing when I'm going to post my new videos, stuff like that, or when I have some time, the paintings that I do. If you want to be in touch with all that, just follow my Facebook page, or you can watch my Instagram account. The link is in the description too. If you are able, and only if you can make a small donation with the link also in the description, and that will help me out to keep making more tutorials like this. Well guys, this is it. I really hope you like it. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching.